Deliveree is an app that helps SME or UKM move their goods from their shops or their store to their customers. So we do this by creating a marketplace where we match the user or the UKM who want to send goods with the drivers who actually provide the transportation, the logistic service. So you can, if you are UKM, you want to use our service, you just download our app. It's available on both iTunes and Android and also on web app. Once you have our app, all you need to do is enter in pickup place, drop-off place, select the type of vehicle you want. We have from 2 wheels motorcycle all the way to box truck, so you can choose the right vehicle depending on your capacity needs, and you basically just book, and then our driver will come and pick up and drop off your stuff. Well, market in Indonesia is still have a lot of room to grow. As we know, Indonesia logistic is one of the challenges as well, right? If you look at the cost per sales in logistic in a region, Indonesia actually spend the most out of 3 countries that we operate in. Indonesia, for ground transportation, it consists about 20% of sales value. If you compare to Thailand, where I'm from, it's only 15%, and in Philippines it's 18%. So in general, people or businesses are paying more in logistics here than other countries in Southeast Asia. If you also look at the trend of mobile user or internet user, currently there's only about 30-something percent, 35% of population that are on that are active internet user, but a whopping 70% of that access through mobile. So there's a lot of people accessing internet now, but through mobile, and only about 20-something percent of that actually purchase goods online. So it translates to about only 24-something million people buying goods online. If you compare this number within the US, US has 66% of people purchasing online. So you have about 24-something million here, which is about 10% of population versus 66%. So you can see how much room Indonesia have to grow.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity.
Exactly. So you put the two together, the growth in the online e-commerce and the user behavior of the mobile first, plus the logistic that it still needs a lot of room to grow and develop. So that's why we're here to serve, basically provide an alternative logistics solution on a mobile platform. So our customer target, let's just say our current customer. There are actually three segments. First is an individual user who use our service to move apartments or condo. Second is the UKM that we talk about, and third is enterprise. So with these 3 segments, it requires different strategy to acquire each of the segments. I would say individual and let's say individual first. Individual is mostly online, like online digital ad, whether it's via Facebook, Google, search or paid. For the UKM, the digital is there, but you have to couple it with direct sales. So we still have a sales force basically going in and explain about the service and also create a business program.
How many UKMs that you already gather?
We have actually, each month we have over 200 UKM using us. and that number is still growing. For enterprise, the strategy of acquiring them is much more direct sales, like calling, cold calling, emailing, adding people on network, much more focus on that front than the digital marketing.
Okay, from the three markets, still UKM is your biggest, what is it? Segment, or you give much priority on that, or?
From the three segment, currently it's actually about even.
Okay.
But if you look at the history of our company, we actually started from the individual segment. Now we actually learn a painful and expensive lesson that individual consumer or individual people do not have as much needs in moving goods, and then they tend to be just the kind of mover who only, how many times would you move a year? Maybe once a year max. So we invested in all these marketing dollars and we got very little value from it. So that's why since December of last year, we really shifted our focus to the business segment. So the UKM, the enterprise. The business has been going great. We've been growing double digits each month. Our downloads now, I think it's over 130,000. That's across the region, but Indonesia is composed of about 60% of that. We have strong interest from both the business side and the driver side. So from the driver, we get the driver applicants every day.
Okay.
Right now,
right now, how many drivers do you have?
Right now we have trained and onboarded over 2,000 drivers in Indonesia.
In Indonesia.
Yeah. So that's across the 6 vehicle types that we have: motorcycle, city car, MPV, van, pickup trucks, and box truck.
Okay. What is the biggest challenge that you face in 1 year running the business?
Biggest challenge is, well, for me personally.
Yes,
is,
for you personally and for Deliveree.
For Deliveree, okay. For Deliveree is really, how do we use our limited resource, both time and funding, to really scream and shout that we're here. Here we are. This is a service that's great for businesses, right? We don't have as much marketing dollars, maybe other giants, right? But everything that we do, all the app features, all the operation, all the service, is crafted around serving the logistic market. Right? Like if you look at our app compared to other, I would say, substitution apps, we're much more crafted for the logistic. We have things like help by driver. You can add extra helper. We have COD, POD feature. We use the Surat Jalan return. We have multiple drop-off. So businesses, when they move things or when they send goods to their customer, they actually need to make multiple locations instead of one, for example. Right? And they need things such as returning the Surat Jalan. So we put that in our app. We still want to develop more features that are more friendly to the logistic market, so we can help provide transparency for businesses that need to send goods. Expansion, definitely. So first is, well, if we talk about the app features, definitely what I just alluded to earlier about giving more transparency to our customer of tracking the COD and POD return. Right now it's still pretty manual, but we would like to change that. We also would like to add more car types, vehicle types, to allow customer to send bigger goods. Like the 1-ton capacity, the 2-ton capacity, and that's mostly for more of the enterprise customer who send goods from their warehouse to the modern trade, like Carrefour, for example, to traditional trade like the bazaar throughout Jakarta. We also would like to expand to new cities. Right now we're really focusing in Jakarta, in Jabodetabek, but our coverage is also in second half of next year. We're eyeing Surabaya, as the next city.
I think Surabaya is the biggest logistics city in Indonesia.
Yeah. And aside from city expansion, getting back to service expansion, we'd like to do more of, let's say, like long haul, intercity. So that we have a lot of things to do.
A lot of things to do and a lot of challenge too.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. Would you stay in Indonesia? I mean, how long will you stay? I mean, in personal.
So my job right now is actually at the regional level, but Indonesia has been my focus. So I spend most of my time here now. I don't know how long will I stay. I mean, the plan is really to hand over the business to the locals. Like, we prefer to have strong, like local people run the business here. I think the locals would know the market best, know the people best, much better than a foreigner like me.